Okay, it is 6 o'clock. So it is time for us to get going. And before I call this meeting to order, I want to make it clear to everybody up here on the dais, to everybody out there, that I am opposed to the agenda that was put together for this meeting tonight. I do not see it as a legitimate agenda, and I object to all the action that will be taken tonight if we proceed. I have thought long and hard about this as to whether I should even gavel this meeting into order. I understand they can have it without me. So as I sit here, I get to run it. So I'm going to call it to order, and I'm going to run the meeting. So with that being said, I am going to call the regular session council meeting on Thursday, April 9, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Trinidad City Hall, 100 Park Street to order. I will establish a quorum. Velma Womack.
Here.
Melvin Thompson.
Here.
Leah Melton.
Here.
Marie Bannister.
Here.
We have a quorum. At this time, I would ask everyone to please bow your head and join me in the invocation. Lord, I thank you for this season, a season that has meant so much to us as Christians. I thank you that we got to celebrate your resurrection last weekend. That has been the most profound thing that has happened in our lives and will ever happen in this world. So I thank you for that. I thank you that we live in a country where we can come here to govern ourselves and meet freely without fear of persecution or prosecution. I ask you to be with us tonight as we go through our deliberations. I ask that you give us patience with one another, bring peace to the room, and keep us focused on what is before us. I ask forgiveness where we've fallen short, and be with us as we go through this process. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. This time I would ask you to rise and join me in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. All right, our next order of business is the oath of office for Chandra Sutton. Judge, Ms. Sutton.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Chandra Sutton,
I, Chandra Sutton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office
of
Trinidad Council
of Trinidad Council Member
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this state
and of this state
and the charter and ordinances of the city.
and the charter and ordinances of this city.
And I furthermore solemnly swear
And I furthermore solemnly swear
that I have not directly
or
or indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay,
offered or promised to pay,
contributed, nor promised to contribute
contributed, nor promised to contribute
any money or valuable thing,
any money or valuable thing,
or promised any public office
or promise any public office
or employment as a reward to secure my appointment.
as a reward to secure my appointment.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Come up. Okay, that moves us on to our next item, item number 5, Visitor Citizens Inquiry. In accordance with the Open Meeting Act, council is prohibited from acting or discussing other than factual responses to specific questions, any items brought before them at this time. This is reserved only for items not covered on the agenda. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. Discussion is limited to 5 minutes per person. Matthew Stearman.
I can speak over there.
Yes, please. State your name and where you're from. You don't have to give your address, just.
Yeah, my name is Matt Stearman. I'm a resident of Trinidad. I'm here to speak about the water that is reaching our homes, but not the water that's leaving the water treatment plant. It has recently been acknowledged that the treatment plant is producing clean, safe water, but that aging cast iron water lines are causing the brown, flaky, sediment-filled water coming through meters of residents' homes. Though the issues at the treatment plant have been resolved, there lies a whole separate issue, a distribution system failure. This is not an aesthetic inconvenience. Aesthetic issues are typically constant and predictable. Chunks and flakes appear in water throughout homes around the city, around the community. That pattern is consistent with corroding cast iron pipes shedding rust and sediment into finished drinking water. This health concern is not a problem that can wait to be resolved. Corroded pipes create biofilms inside the system, which reduce disinfectant effectiveness and allow bacteria to survive and regrow. These conditions increase public health risk, especially for children, seniors, and immunocompromised residents. These risks include lead poisoning, respiratory infections from mold, bacteria, and gastrointestinal distress. Research indicates that reactions between water disinfectants and the protective scales inside older pipes can form chromium, which is a carcinogen, which means this can also lead to cancer. The fact residents here must wash clothes, shower, and use this water for daily necessities is honestly terrifying. I can assure you this is not false information. This is based on hard facts and research. If the police department and the city of Trinidad really wanted us to believe they took public health concerns seriously, this issue would have been resolved years ago. Residents are being told the water is within standards. However, EPA guidance is clear that water quality must be maintained through the tap, not just at the plant. Here's what residents are asking for clearly and respectfully. Formal acknowledgement that this is a distribution system failure and a very serious health concern, not an aesthetic issue that can wait to be resolved. A public written plan that identifies a realistic timeline for replacement or remediation. If this is already available, we ask that the council or whatever parties involved will point us in the right direction to obtain this information. Informing us there are ongoing efforts to improve the system is not good enough. And then transparency and accountability regarding funding, especially given public concern that prior funds for infrastructure repair disappeared into thin air. Trust cannot be rebuilt without clarity. I'll close with this. The community is not asking for perfection. We are asking for honesty, accountability, and above all, action. The water entering through the taps of residents all throughout Trinidad is not acceptable in any city of Texas. The longer this is dismissed, the more residents will escalate concerns beyond this room. If you will allow me additional time, I actually have a book over there that I have a couple ideas that might help, that we might be able to, throw some ideas out there, see if we can do something about it.
Well, if we're gonna do that, we would need to get you on the agenda and get you into a meeting where you have an agenda spot, and then you can have all the time that you need.
Okay.
We would welcome that, but this is not really the setting.
Yes, sir, I got you. But that's all I got. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
And I put you on the next agenda.
am I allowed to follow up on that just for 1 second?
Sure.
It's nothing wrong or it's nothing bad or anything. I just want to clarify while we're on live to all the citizens, the reason we posted what we did, we're not plumbers. We have nothing to do with the water. The reason we posted that is because we have an open investigation right now. I don't know who did it, who said it. We don't know who was in control of that Facebook page, but they did cause an alarm and a panic because they did put on Facebook that there was people being hospitalized due to bacteria in the water. Now, if any of y'all look at the penal code, that is a state jail felony to cause alarm and panic when it has to do with your public water. So I just wanted to say that that was the reason why we posted what we did. We're not plumbers, we don't handle the water, that's Jeremy and the city. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Chief. Ms. Farmer, you're up.
Okay, so I'm Stacy Farmer, and my husband and I, Mike, opened up Art House Trinidad on Highway 31 about 3 years ago. We do glass blowing, art workshops, we have a gallery space, gift shop, and we are proud to be part of Trinidad. We like this community, its history, its people, and we are also reaching beyond the Trinidad community to the lake communities and beyond people who come from Dallas, San Antonio, Waco here. And so we are becoming an attraction in this area. Anyway, as I was looking through the agenda items tonight, some things raised some concern in me. And before I get into those, I just want to say I appreciate all of your service here. I mean, all of you are volunteering, and it's not easy to do what you do. The city council members, the mayor, you got a tough job, and I want to recognize that. But I also wanted to acknowledge that there were a couple of things that were on the agenda tonight. In particular, both the judge and the mayor appear on the agenda in a significant way. And I want to speak to that directly and with respect. Both of these individuals have served our community well. And whatever the disagreements are or whatever the concerns exist, I hope the council approaches tonight's decisions with care, fairness, and the best interest of Trinidad. And as the mayor alluded to, I also have concerns that possibly some of the agenda items could not be legal, not follow Texas local government code, because the code gives very specific responsibilities to the mayor. And so anyway, on that, I just ask that you really look carefully at what you all do tonight. And I just also want to say the mayor has been somebody I've really appreciated in his post as mayor. He's a great leader, and he has looked in at our business, and I appreciate that. In addition to that, whatever changes you make tonight, if you do make any changes, they don't just represent him, they represent for future mayors as well. And so Also, if you do conflict with any state statutes in your actions tonight, that could cause liability for Trinidad. And, basically good leadership really starts with you guys, what you all do, how you move in care and respect for one another, how you act in care and respect for the citizens, and a lot of that starts with you. So I hope that care and respect drives what you do tonight, and I think that's it for now.
All right, thank you, Ms. Farmer.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything to offer? Okay. Judge, did you have a request for open hearing on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as it relates to the next item, convening the executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code, with the judge requesting open hearing, that is not an option that's available to us. So we will move on. So I don't really know why that should be item number 6, I think, but discuss, consider, and take action on matters discussed in executive session. There were none in executive session, so that discussion will happen now in open session. So I will hear discussion.
Okay, I'd like to speak up. This is not a personal attack on Judge Bivens as a person. We're trying to look out for the city and the spending. She's worked in this position for 5 years. The first 2 years being just as busy as they are now with the tickets being written. The first 2 years was done in approximately a third of the time as it is now with the new software that was purchased, which took most of the workload off of the staff. In January of 2026, the council reviewed the job description for the city's municipal judge. Weekly tasks will review warrants and orders, respond to clerk procedural questions, handle compliance matters, and rarely review special motions. This was presented to us by Lindsay Patterson, our previous administrator. Does this all add up to 32 hours a week? I do not believe it does. To my knowledge, there has only been one court date held since 2024, and that was back in February of this year. I, in good faith, cannot continue to pay double, triple of what is being paid in the past 5 years, while expecting our citizens to pay these high utility bills to keep our city afloat. I have reviewed minutes where you were hired on part-time, working approximately 500 hours in 2023. And 250 hours in 2024. And in 2025, hold on, don't bear with me. My calculation was in 2025, you worked 733 hours. And that was at $20 an hour. So now you're working 32 hours a week without council approval. This was never brought before the council for you to go up in your hours. And these figures bring up another problem. An employee must work 1,000 hours a year per TMRS to be eligible for retirement through TMRS. You have not worked 1,000 hours in a year since you've been here.
May I respond?
Absolutely.
So, you didn't say anything about 21, 22 when I first started working. In August of 23, the very end of August, which is almost the end of our fiscal year, I was moving boxes at the old City Hall in my office. And I broke 3 vertebrae in my back. Because Terry didn't see me do it. Anybody that knows Terry, she rarely got up out of her chair unless she came in here. And she did that way before anybody showed up. So I was off work for 4 months without pay, without workers' compensation. I paid for my MRIs. I paid for all my treatment myself out of my pocket with no income. When I came back to work in December of 23, I was only able to work a day or 2 here or there because the bones, the vertebrae in my back are wedge fractures, meaning half of them is broken. So not only do I have constant pain that I have to be treated for, and I have to go get therapy every month, but I was not able to come back and work like I needed to. Things fell behind. As far as, yes, I was making $20 an hour. I was hired October the 18th of 2021. Terry said work $20 an hour and don't go over 32. So I worked as the work came in. We had Ryan Kate. He was doing ordinance violations, all that was going on. Just because you say I haven't had hearings, I have had hearings. We have bills in there you can provide every time our prosecutor comes. Our prosecutor doesn't come every month. He wants so many cases before he has to drive all that way. So we wait until we have so many cases. Yes, I was making $20 an hour. In September of 2023, when I read the minutes about everybody in the city, all employees got a raise, 10% raise. I called Terry and I said, it was after I got back to work, and I showed her that. And she said, no, that's other employees. I said, it says all employees. I didn't argue with her, okay? So for 4.5 years, I never got a raise. Colby got a raise, everybody, Matt got a raise every 6 months. You can go back and look at that. You can pull those records. So when Lindsay came on board, she asked me, why was I not doing the TMRS? I said, Terry didn't sign me up for it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But you haven't worked 1,000 hours a year since
I did not know that. And I did not make myself full-time. I don't work 32 hours a week. I do not work 32 hours a week. And in February, you said that I made $3,000. How many meetings did we have? I've got to go back and look at my bank. I certainly didn't get $3,000 in my bank account. So you must be accounting for the TMRS contributions and insurance. I don't know. But I can assure you I didn't have $3,000 in my bank account. And how many meetings did we have that month? We had a bunch.
You get paid when you're at a meeting?
I was required to be here. We had executive session. There were things about me on that agenda. And I have to give my report. Yes, I come to those meetings. Yeah.
But everybody that gives their report, they're not on the clock when they come to these meetings to give their report.
I don't know if they are or not. I know I'm required by the state. This is my policy and procedure right there. Volume 1 and 2. That's the Bible, according to the state of Texas. And I answer to them, ultimately. I answer to them, much like they answer to T. Cole. There are things on my to-do list, things that a judge does that I cannot give to Colby. And as far as taking pleas, if you look at Criminal Code of Procedure, Article 2714, yes, I can take pleas. I am required to take a not guilty plea. I'm required to take pleas from anyone 17 or under, and anybody who has an alcohol charge, anything like that, I'm required. Colby can take the paperwork, she can take the payments, but they don't get accepted until I see them. I can't do that in 4 hours a week. I can't. I'll do it to show you all, and the state of Texas and all these attorneys that are asking for stuff for their clients. They're gonna be calling and they're gonna be screaming, and y'all will have to answer to that because I'm covered with the state of Texas. I filed everything I needed to file 3 months ago.
Judge, how many hours a week do you think you need to adequately do your job?
About 28 right now, given what we've got. I'm still working through. I was off for 10 days. I was out sick. I was off for 2 days because you asked me to be.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other time I was deathly ill. I've lost 16 pounds. I was very sick.
Right.
I come back to work and it's all I can do trying to keep up. And I'm coming in at 11 o'clock. I used to come in at 9:30 or 10. But I'm self-cutting my hours. I stay till 5:30 to get to a good stopping point to where I can get these payments processed. They need to, I've got people calling, I've got attorneys calling, did you get this? Did you get that? Go look at my desk. I'm not piddle farting around, whatever you want to call it. I'm working. I'm not asking for anything that I don't feel like I deserve. When I'm here, I work. And I do a damn good job. I do.
Okay. Anybody else have comments up here?
Well, one of the things that I asked last week before I, was even signed, I was approved but not sworn in, but I went to ask some questions about this. And from what I understand, Lindsay went back and combined the years together for several years to get her numbers. But TMRS doesn't work that way. It has to be 1,000 a year. And she just doesn't work 1,000 hours a year. I mean, it's nothing personal, it's just that unfortunately, Lindsay made the judge full-time without the council's approval, as Leah said, and she signed all the forms and she set it all in play. And as much as I hate that you've gone through the things you have, Judge, really, it breaks my heart to hear about your back and everything. There's been over $7,000, $7,493 going into your retirement program that you don't qualify for, and that Lindsay didn't have the authorization to set up.
Am I being crucified for something someone else did? Because that's how it feels.
Well, no, You're
It
not.
really feels like that.
because unfortunately, Lindsay did something inappropriately and illegally and gave you something you don't qualify for. You just don't qualify for that amount of retirement. And she didn't have the ability to do it.
The way I understood it, she was on the phone with TMRS weekly, and they sent an email and they asked me they asked me about an ordinance for the municipal judge. So I went online to the ordinance page and I pulled the municipal judge ordinance and I emailed that to them. They wanted to know how much I made. I gave them that. They asked me specific questions. That was the end of it for me. Lindsay said that TMRS told her that I should have been covered. This is what I was told, that I should have been covered from when I first started, and that they could only go back 4 years. And I thought, well, great, I've been here a little over 4 years. That's 4.5 now. But
Unfortunately, sweetie, she was mistaken. And these are questions that I asked last week.
I don't have the answer to that. You should ask her that.
Well, Cynthia has talked to TMRS as late as today.
Do we have documentation on any of this, Cynthia?
Yes,
Okay.
the TMRS said, I've talked to them and she was sending me an email. I talked to her,
But we don't currently have anything on hand right now.
not at this moment, no, sir, but I have talked to them.
Okay, so again, is she responsible for that? That's a question that needs to be answered.
Well, it's in our charter, I believe, is where TMRS, it's in our charter that the judge has to work 1,000 hours to qualify for TMRS.
Well,
It's in our charter.
no.
Now, where our charter is, I don't know.
Now, understand, we're looking at notes, we're looking at emails. We got payroll records that are real records.
Yes,
We're not seeing any of those.
yes, I have, that should have been in there from Chris.
I see no payroll records in this. So,
Payroll records,
Right here.
for last 3 months.
that's a payroll record to you?
That's
That is not.
what we paid them?
That is not payroll records. We have reported payroll for her, I assume. We should have official records that show that.
Yes,
We don't currently have those.
This is what Chris.
I understand that. What I am talking about, if I go to my HR and I ask for my payroll records for the last 5 years, they can give them to me in documents that come out of that accounting hardware or software. So if we've got information from TMRS, let's see it.
and
If we've got payroll records, let's see it. That's what I'm asking for, real records that come from the accounting software.
yes, sir.
And then we have the conversation about who is responsible and do we hold her accountable for that money when she had nothing to do with that decision. But that's a discussion that technically we can't even have tonight. Because the way this agenda is written, the only choice we have is an up or down vote on the 4 hours a week and paying back that money. That's the only choice we have. That agenda looks like it was already decided before it was written. We can't have a negotiation with her about how many hours she needs. We can't have a
This is the
negotiation.
4th meeting we've had on this.
Well, I understand, but every time y'all have crippled us in having this conversation. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. She gets to control whether we go into executive session or not. That's the law.
No, I said we had an executive session already on.
I understand, and at that time, you had a motion when we came out, you made a motion to pay her $400 a month. Now, if you go back and look at this, we all know there's 4 weeks in a month, $100 a week, because we can do simple math. That comes out to the same thing we were at 3-4 meetings ago. So, we only have one option. There's nothing that we can change in a negotiation in this meeting. That's why I object to this. Now, I will ask the council this. Did we send this agenda to legal?
Yes,
And did we get a response?
she responded to your ordinance, but I didn't get a response from her about the agenda.
You didn't get an email late this afternoon about this very item?
Well, I was in here this afternoon, sir. If I got it, it was late this afternoon, right before 5, because I've been at my office till 5.
I understand.
Did it come
I got
out
it
then?
before 5.
Okay, but
It came to the whole council.
Okay. We didn't,
So we have, nobody's seen it.
No.
Okay. So I can't go into, obviously, the information that's in that email because it's an exchange between us and our attorney. But I can very definitely prove that the emails came. Not only that, well, we'll get on to that other one here in a minute.
It was about the agenda?
It was about the agenda, and it was also about the ordinance. Yes, Jerry?
According to the agenda here, the way it reads, there's room for discussion. I mean, that's the way it reads. That's the whole point of the executive session. It says to deliberate as appropriate in the council regard.
So,
The only email we got from Paige this afternoon was about the incident.
I'll pull it up.
Well,
so-
you got it. We didn't get it.
It'll show who all got it.
Okay, I'm showing you what I
I
got.
understand. When you go to reconvene into open session, discuss and consider and take action on matters discussed in executive session, Judge Bivens' hours. The only hours that we were given was what is written above. So there was no room. Judge Bivens is a part-time judge, as hired, and will be working 4 hours a week with an increase in pay totaling $25 an hour. Any additional hours must be approved by the council starting immediately. A payment plan for $3,463.04 that the city paid to TMRS for her part of the contribution of her retirement plan. That is a statement.
Okay, previously to that, before you get into that, it says to deliberate as appropriate in the council direction regarding Judge Bivens. So it says right there that this is what you're going to discuss.
Finish reading that, Jerry.
Judge Bivens being part-time with the hours being 4 hours a week with an increase in pay totaling $25 an hour. Discussing job description for the month for Judge Bivens. Discussing Judge Bivens a payment plan for the amount of $3,463.04 to pay the city back for her enrollment in TMRS.
So where does that allow for a discussion?
Any additional hours must be approved by the council, starting immediately.
So she could work more hours and be paid more, I understand that. But we can't discuss her hourly rate, or we can't discuss her total number of hours that she would work in a regular week.
It says to deliberate.
I understand that.
You
That
don't
was what
put
you're
your whole,
talking about.
you can't put your whole meeting on this paper right now.
No, I understand that, Jerry, but what you can do is you can say, discuss the number of hours that the judge would be required to work per week and the amount of money we are going to pay her, and that gives you the opportunity to deliberate it.
So for the past 50 years, the city of Trinidad has been running meetings illegally because they never do this. They put on there to discuss this right here, discuss and vote on this topic. And then they have a full-blown discussion over a topic that may be 5 words long, but they have a whole discussion.
I understand, but all the details aren't laid out because then it looks like a decision has already been made. I mean, I'm not gonna keep going on this, but all of this, like I said before, I am objecting to, and I will challenge 100% of what's happening tonight, without question. And I will provide to the council the email that I referenced that has the specific agenda item relating to Judge Bivens. Again, I can't go into what's in it.
Looks like you're the only one to get these emails.
I'm not the only one that got this email. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. What other discussions do we need up here? Anybody else out there?
I'd like to say, we do have the email. It was sent, and I'm not gonna read it all, because that's for us to read and discuss. But, from my understanding, it has not been cleared through our legal.
That is mine as well. Because she doesn't,
Not the agenda,
She's saying
her part of the agenda. This is all the same issue. He's saying that we can't discuss because what we put on the agenda. We didn't leave no open room for discussion on, or might I say bartering, on what we're willing to pay her and what hours we're willing to pay. And that's why the lawyers is not as concerned about. She needs more information.
correct. She does not have the information she needs yet.
Why did she wait till right before the meeting? She's had that agenda for days, since last week. Why did she wait till right before the meeting to
I didn't
answer
say
it?
that, I stopped. We gotta go all the way down.
She can explain that to you if you want to give her a call tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the email. And Melvin, I appreciate you finding that because I frankly just didn't have time up here.
She's just saying that she can't give advice on that right now because she doesn't have enough information on what was in the agenda.
Yeah.
It's basically what she's saying. And I know, as far as I'm concerned, we need to make sure everything is legal on the agenda before we make a decision about this.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, we have enough issues going on without creating something.
Correct. Well, I was handed a statement that Lisa Hebrink had asked that we read in regard to Judge Bivens. I would ask, given the gravity of this situation, I don't know the legality of reading this. I think it, and I haven't read it yet, so I'll read it live for all of you. But I think it's important enough that we hear from our citizens. Lisa is a servant to this city and she wanted to speak out on it. So I'm going to read this letter at this time. As a member of the Trinidad government and citizen of Trinidad, having a long history with Trinidad, I would like to express my concern about tonight's agenda items. I would like to express my opinion of Selena Bivens as judge. She came on the scene about the same time that I did, plus or minus 4 years ago. I worked with her for 6 weeks at City Hall while I was the city administrator. Her work ethic is impeccable and straightforward in her regard for the court and its proceedings. Judge Bivens has exhibited her knowledge with court proceedings, understanding and compassion to those who are struggling financially when they get in this position. She keeps herself in her own lane and is not doing anything that is compromising or illegal. Judge Bivens took over the court that had a lot of issues going on with it. She had to deal with old tickets that were not handled properly and worked diligently to get all the past paperwork in order. It would be hard to replace her with someone of her same caliber. It is my belief that the issue against her is uncalled for. She needs to be reinstated as a judge with hours that won't cause her financial distress. No one would drive as far as she drives for the amount of money the council is offering to pay her. It is my belief that the council is targeting the judge for whatever reason it may be. If she needs to stay part-time, then keep her at the original hours. Regardless, it will be a hassle to find another judge of her caliber in the future. Remember that all the employees and volunteer people who give their time are expecting council to represent high standards of decision-making for the city of Trinidad. It seems that time is being wasted by all involved on things that are not what the council is supposed to be doing. The council's job is to work on behalf of the citizens of Trinidad for the betterment of the community. Work has been delayed for meetings of this same kind of issues. Please get in a position to focus on the needs of the community as a whole and not on micromanaging personnel.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all. Further discussion?
I think that there's some good points being brought. Lindsay done some things that wasn't supposed to be done.
She lied to her.
Not to her fault. I have talked to other judges that says that they do it in 1 night a week. So I think we can discuss with her and work out a deal that we can pay her comparable for what she does and still get what we want out of the deal. That's just my feelings.
Okay. Thank you, Mel.
So I'd like to make a motion that we table this and put it on our next agenda.
Have a motion by Leah. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Chandra. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. This is tabled.
That's why we can't get nothing accomplished.
Well, they have to make it.
Okay, moving on. Discuss regarding identified concerns involving city personnel, administrative operations, and leadership conduct, including matters related to the office of Mayor Haws, to include publicly addressing concerns in an open meeting. Discuss and consider and take action on Ordinance 04-2026-001 related to the duties of the mayor. Yes, ma'am.
Lisa Hebrank emailed me, she couldn't be here this evening, and she emailed me something she would like for me to read.
Judge, all due respect, and I appreciate that.
No.
I don't want to do that at this time. I appreciate Lisa's opinion, and I would like to read what she wrote, but I don't want anybody calling this into question. I did it on your behalf because I thought it warranted the situation. Basically, and maybe we start this by just an open conversation. I have read through this ordinance. I've read through the review by the city attorney. There was a follow-up to that review late this afternoon as well. This body has very limited authority on what they can prescribe as my duties. My duties are laid out in the local government code, and it is very clearly spelled out what I can and can't do. It is also clearly spelled out what councils can and can't do. So the ordinance, and I'm sure we don't have enough copies. I'm happy to read what we were provided verbatim, if y'all would like to hear that.
I have several extra copies if anybody would like to have them.
But I'm gonna read it into the record anyway. An ordinance defining and limiting the authority of the mayor pursuant to Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 22, establishing the mayor as presiding officer only, prohibiting interference in municipal operations and personnel, authorizing city council oversight, establishing censure and corrective action procedures, providing enforcement mechanisms, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Whereas the city of Trinidad is a Type A general law municipality operating under Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 22, and Whereas pursuant to section 22042, the mayor serves as the presiding officer of the governing body and has only those powers granted by statute or ordinance. And whereas pursuant to section 22042 and related provisions, the governing body, city council, retains legislative and administrative authority over municipal affairs unless otherwise delegated or expressly granted to the mayor under state law. And whereas the city council finds it necessary to clearly define and limit the role of the mayor to prevent interference with municipal operations, employees, and department administration. Now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Trinidad, Texas, that statutory authority. This ordinance is adopted pursuant to Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 22, Type A, General Law, Municipality. The City Council's authority to manage and govern municipal affairs. Role of the mayor. In accordance with Texas Local Government Code 22.037, and the mayor shall serve as presiding officer of the City Council, call in open meetings, preside over meetings, and maintain order, actively ensure that the laws and ordinances of the municipality are properly carried out, inspect the conduct of each subordinate municipal officer, and cause any negligence, carelessness, or violation of duty to be addressed. Provide information and recommend measures to the council relating to finance, police, health, security, cleanliness, comfort, and good government in the city. The mayor's authority is limited to statutory and ceremonial functions unless expressly expanded by ordinance of the city council. Prohibition on administrative authority. The mayor shall not exercise administrative authority over the city except where required by state law. Except for duties expressly granted to the mayor under state law, the mayor is expressly prohibited from directing, supervising, or disciplining city employees, interfering with the daily operations of any department, issuing orders to the police department, city administrator, or staff, participating in personnel decisions outside of a properly posted council meeting as for any council member, except for duties expressly granted to the mayor under state law. Except for duties expressly granted to the mayor under state law, all administrative authorities shall reside with the city council when acting by majority vote at a properly posted meeting with a quorum present. The city administrator, see Ordinance 31.019, authority, duties, and responsibilities. Section 4, prohibition on day-to-day involvement. Except for duties expressly granted to the mayor under state law, the mayor shall not be involved in day-to-day municipal operations. The mayor shall not communicate directives to employees regarding job duties, attempt to influence hiring, firing, discipline, or scheduling, insert themselves into operational matters outside council authorization unless the operational matter falls within the mayor's express authority under statute. The mayor is the budget officer and has certain duties under Chapter 102, Texas Local Government Code. See Section 102.001A, Texas Local Government Code. The mayor of a municipality serves as the budget officer for the governing body. Council oversight. The city council retains authority over all departments, granting the city administrator full oversight over all departments except that of the police department, which is the police chief's duty, subject to their right of appeal to the city council if appointments and termination of the chief of police and city secretary, city administrator shall be with the city council's concurrence. Chain of command. The administrative chain of command shall be city council, city administrator, all other employees, police chief answers to the council, and the police department answers to the police chief. The mayor shall not be part of the administrative chain of command except where expressly required by state law. Censure and corrective action. The city council may, by majority vote, formally censure the mayor for violations of the ordinance, interference in city operations, conduct inconsistent with the duties of office. A censure resolution may include public reprimand entered into official minutes, restrictions on access to city facilities or staff to the extent allowed by law, formal directive to cease prohibited conduct, provided with written notice of the alleged violation, given an opportunity to respond in a posted public meeting. Section 8, removal mechanisms. Nothing in this ordinance shall conflict with state law governing removal of an elected official. The City Council acknowledges that removal of a mayor may occur only through lawful means, including judicial removal under Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 21. Other remedies provided under Texas law. Violations of this ordinance may constitute evidence of official misconduct, incompetence, or abuse of office. Grounds for referral to the appropriate legal authorities for removal proceedings. Section 9, enforcement. Any action taken by the mayor in violation could be considered not binding upon the city. The City Council may void or override unauthorized actions, issue formal directives clarifying authority, require all staff to disregard unlawful directions. Employees are directed to follow the established organizational structure put in place, report violations to the established chain of command, decline unlawful directives without fear of retaliation. Retaliation for reporting violations is strictly prohibited. Section 10, severability. If any provision is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions. This ordinance shall take effect immediately upon adoption as allowed by law. That is the ordinance. So frankly, I don't care whether they approve it or not. There is line after line after line of referring to state statute. This is a waste of everybody's time and money. When we could be doing something else, we're here jacking with this, and it makes absolutely no sense. Now, if we've got issues, let's talk them out. I'm fine with that. If y'all are upset with me, let's hear it. We're sitting here right now. Let's talk it out. Yes, sir.
I do have an issue.
Okay.
I've been informed by more than one person that the city council is skating on thin ice. Have you ever made that remark?
I have not.
I think you're lying. I'm saying that right out loud in front of the camera. I think you're lying because I don't know you, but I know the people that has told me this. I've known them my whole life, and they would not lie to me about this.
The council is where the council is. I mean, that's the reality of it. There are laws that we have to follow. There are laws that you guys have to follow. I don't
understand that, but I'm saying whenever you do that, when you go out and you say that in front of people, you're sowing division among the people in this city. And you're sowing division for the council and the whole city.
I can
when you
accept
do
that. I can accept that. I don't recall making that statement.
I can help you remember.
Okay.
You sat right here on our last meeting whenever we hired Jeremy as our sewer guy now. And you looked at me and asked me, are y'all kin to each other? And I said, yes. And I could see the wheels turning and the light bulb go off. You made a remark in front of him. And he's not the only one you made that remark in front of.
You've done it with me too.
There you go, there's another one. And whenever
and
you
the thing
make
is,
those remarks.
when he's talking about division, I'm not saying nothing bad about you, Mayor, but you and the council, when y'all do that, causes division with the employees too.
It does.
And we got way too much issue going on in the city. But you have said that they skate on thin ice, and if you find out they're doing a walking forum, you're gonna see legal matters.
And here's where I'm not through yet. Let me finish. Okay. If you go back to where you say that, I can't find it right now, where you said that you think that this was already set up and decided on before it was coming here. I can see where you would believe that. But I can assure you, I have not talked to not one single person up here about this right here.
Well, and
I didn't know nothing about this when I walked in here.
all right, and this has nothing to do with you. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
I was told that every member of the council wanted me gone.
I never said that. I can get somebody right now to stand up and tell her, I come and sit in her office and I told her, I don't want him gone, I want him here. All I want is him to work with us as a team and stop all the bullshit, is what I said. Didn't I say that to
You did
Sam?
say that several weeks ago.
There you go.
But when I took the ordinance and showed it to them, they were all asked if they wanted to follow through. Everybody said yes.
So I did want to follow through, so we can have this discussion.
And I want this discussion, I've been asking for it for 3 meetings, okay?
Yes.
And every time at the end of the meeting, I've specifically said, if we got something, let's talk about it. If I have said that, I have referred to this council being certainly on the borderline of being illegal on some things, because it's happened. It is my responsibility, as I just read, I heard it,
And I've read it several times myself.
okay? It's my responsibility, if we're doing that, to
I understand
say
that.
something about it.
It's not your responsibility to go out to the city employees and say that.
I don't
I know you're
recall-
saying you didn't say it, but I've got 2 people sitting right here in this court that says you said it. That's just 2 of them, and I've had more people tell me that, so.
Can I say something to the council? Can I say something?
Sure, you can say something.
The issue I have is, this goes back to when we had our employee meeting, that first time that we ever had that employee meeting, we're all sitting around the table. And he can verify it. Judge, I don't know if she will or not, but when we sat there, you told us that we need to talk about issues amongst each other and we need to keep it from the council. You said that we need to keep our issues from the council because it's not their business to run the day-to-day operations. However, the council oversees this city, period. And if we, department heads have an issue, we should be able to go to the council. That was something that you had told me in that meeting before, and Lindsay said in those meetings that we need to keep everything from the council, that we need to keep it in-house. It's them versus us, was what she said, not you. However, what I have an issue with since I've been here since September, and these citizens don't see behind closed doors, and I like you a lot. I love the shit out of you. I'm just gonna say it. I want you to stay here. But what I want you guys to all do is to work together, because when y'all don't work together, it puts us in division. And it's happened several times. And you have backed the negativity up, just like this last weekend. We had an Easter community event. You showed up for 2-3 minutes, dropped off a cake, and then went and did a podcast to put down your city council instead of talking to your city council individually. You've been told that you can talk to your council individually and solve issues, and you've literally said it several times, that's illegal. I can't talk to them. That's not a walking quorum.
I can show you an email from Paige that says different.
Okay, well,
I am following council advice on that, but I'm fine having that conversation right here, and I appreciate this opportunity to have this conversation. I have not tried to belittle this council or anything else. What I said to those guys in that meeting is if they were approached by people on the council and given direction on what they're supposed to be doing with their jobs, that was not the council's role.
Well, what I can tell you from working here as a department head is I've been included in emails with an attorney and you, not the council. The council gets left out of emails. The council gets left out of conversations. Even Sam, since she's been here as our interim city administrator, should be in emails and conversations that's being having, and you leave her out of those. You go and have sidebar conversations with the attorney. You've had sidebar conversations with individual citizens in this town trying to turn them against the council, and they've all come and told me this. So this just needs to stop. Y'all just need to squash it, honestly, because it's not, at this point, it's not affecting the citizens, it's affecting us employees. I have officers that are wanting to quit because of this drama, because they just came from this in 7 points. Ron Helms could probably vouch for that.
We never had this kind of division before.
Well, and that may well be, and I am, this is the conversation I want.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, you did create an open forum with Mr. Jerry Bannister when you stood up and spoke. Let's take a breath, right? Let's take a few steps back. There is a lot of drama, Chief. A lot of unnecessary drama just occurred. I just want to put on the record, and I'm not accusing anything, right? But as a matter of fact statement, if council is voting on business to hire family members, relatives, etc., there are affidavits that you're supposed to file with the city. And if those affidavits are not filed, for the record, you are skating on thin ice. So I will be submitting records requests. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway, though, I just want to continue that.
Okay. Mr. Helm, if the person that you're gonna request those records from is the same person that lied about her hours and stuff, so who knows whether it's in record or not. But I abstained from every vote that's had to do with that man.
I do recall that. I remember him saying that I abstained from voting because it's the family.
Exactly. And that was before he was here. That was before Mr. Haws was here.
So
10 seconds, Mr. Mayor,
Okay,
with all due respect. We can clear it up right now. Have you filed a Chapter 171 affidavit with the city?
I don't even know what that is, so.
Point made for the record, citizens. Thank you.
All right, so let me clear this up a little bit. One, about where the question came from, okay? We all had the meeting with David Goblin while he was doing our audit. Yeah, and he is the one that brought that up because of the lack of those documents that Mr. Helms was just talking about.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do, and frankly, the distance of the relationship, as y'all explained it, probably really eliminates any need.
Well, our last mayor told me that and wanted me to vote, and I told him no.
Yeah.
I abstained just for the mere fact of the optics.
And I can appreciate that.
I wasn't following. And Lindsay knew about it. I never received any paperwork to file, and I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I assumed when I abstained, and I let our mayor know that everything was taken care of.
And that's valid. I can appreciate that.
Can I continue mine?
I'm sorry, yes.
So, the issues that I've seen, sir, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, not saying nothing bad about you. You're not here on a day-to-day basis. You have a full-time job, correct?
Correct.
So you're not here. All you know is what you hear. But I have witnessed with my own eyes, and I'm just going to state it. I'm not going to go to the point because I'm not going to open us up to a legal matter, okay,
right,
and state the exact situations that have happened. But when I took over as interim city administrator for the 1 week that you had me in there, which I hated that damn job, when I was in there, it was a cluster in there, all right? There was documents shoved everywhere. There was issues that we had with our previous city administrator, and I'm getting to a point with this. There was issues that we had with her. There was issues where we caught her lying about the water department. There was issues where, and this is, I mean, since we're all gonna be here to say it, I had an issue with you congratulating her for coming out during the winter storm when she came out and jacked around on a side-by-side drinking alcohol. Okay?
That wasn't
and that is confirmed because Anthony Livingston and him seen it. So that is confirmed. And we mentioned it to you, but you just brushed it off. You congratulated her for coming out here checking on citizens when that's not what she did. Okay? I had an issue with that. It's like all the bad things that have happened here, you have honored that, but all the good stuff that's happened here, you're just kind of like, whatever. And I don't care too much for a leadership that feeds to the negativity. And that is what you have done. These citizens don't see what happens here every day. And I'll speak up all day long. If he wants to back me up, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care what employee here backs me up, but I'm telling you, citizens, what I've seen with my own eyes. And quite frankly, if y'all don't believe me, you believe me, I don't care. I know what I've seen, and I've seen it day to day where he has undermined the city council, which is not something that a mayor should do. A mayor, as a leader of a city, we have one sitting in this crowd right now. A mayor, a leader of the city, is supposed to be out doing PR and good work for the city, not downing your city council members, not supporting the negative things that have happened at this city, not sitting here saying that the person that was in this office previously to Sam didn't do anything wrong. In his opinion, he had a personal relationship with. That's a conflict of interest, in my opinion. If you don't see the issues that are going on within the city and you're congratulating that person for those, not acknowledging the things that she did bad and just saying she did nothing good for the city, that's an issue with me. I don't care, so.
Or when he went on with Dan Pass and he sat there at the 30-minute, 42-second mark where he says that he didn't have any problems until we switched to this water operator.
Right, and my thing to the citizens,
I never said that.
It's on.
I said I didn't, listen, what I said was I didn't have a problem until we switched to y'all, and where we were going with that, and I told you this. I've told you this. When y'all first started working, I got a little bit of discolored water. Prior to that, mine had always
You
been
don't owe me
clean.
an explanation there.
I'm sorry?
You don't owe me an explanation.
I'm not trying to explain, I'm just telling you where I was.
The thing that, back to what I'm saying though, I'm not trying to start an argument. I am only stating what I observed since I've been here. And a lot of employees are afraid to say something because they're worried about if they're gonna get fired or not. I'm not. I'll say whatever.
I don't have any authority.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying, I'm not afraid to say stuff because I've worked at places where you got shunned if you said something. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you the truth of what I've seen and that's it. I don't honor unethical people that lie, and we've had employees here that have lied. You just straight up blatantly lied when you said that you never said what you said when you have said it to me, and you have said it to other citizens, and you have said it to other employees, in front of other employees. You said it right there in front of me, Officer Beckley, and Sam one day. You said it right in there. All right, so I don't encourage liars. All right, I'm not gonna throw other employees here under the bus, but there's other employees that have lied, and you back them up too. And you just totally blatantly ignore the issues that are going on. So I kind of back the council up when it says that you're out of the day-to-day operations, because in my opinion, you have not been a great leader. You're a great person. I love you to death as a person. You're not a great leader. And I'm just gonna throw it out there. So a great leader is somebody that's gonna take care of their people, and somebody that's gonna actually get out and do good PR work, not get out and do negative PR work and undermine their employees. And in your sense, your council members are the people that this is the city you're supposed to be leading. And I've kept my mouth shut, and I said I was gonna keep my mouth shut, but I'm not gonna sit here and listen to unethical shit go on in this room. I'm not. I don't like it. I don't like liars. And these guys do not see the day-to-day that goes on. All they hear is what you tell them or what Dan has on his live. That's what they hear. They don't hear what happens here day-to-day. And quite frankly, a lot of places shut their employees up because they don't want them knowing everything. I, on the other hand, am gonna tell the citizens what's going on because I'm tired of it.
So I would ask you this, Chief. If there are things, and when I talk about council, I'm not talking about every person up here, but if there are things that are being done that are unethical, borderline illegal, am I supposed to just keep my mouth shut?
No. So what is going on borderline illegal? Because last time I checked, I'm the one that handles crimes and illegal stuff, right? And I haven't had anybody come to me and tell me anything. So for you to go out and tell citizens what they're doing is illegal, or they're having walking quorums or whatnot, that's, in my opinion, that's being unethical because you haven't brought it to the legal authorities. So if somebody's doing something illegal, then what's going on?
This
What
type
are you
of,
doing illegal? When you say they, you talk about me as well as the rest of the council.
I mean, we're all here in open session. Let's all talk.
Can I make a statement? Can I make a quick statement? And I don't want a response. I want it figured out.
all right,
All of this up here, that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Every one of you have a flaw. Every one of you have issues. Every one of you. And I'm not a good speaker, but I will say this. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And that's my motto of my life. But what about a council member going to people's houses wanting you to get on the council so you can vote the mayor out? And that was the stipulation. So, and we all know, I mean, if you have common sense, you know who it is. But every one of you have issues. Every one of you have problems. This city is torn apart because of y'all. If y'all gonna get this right, then you have to get yourselves right. And that's all I got to say.
That's what I got to say about an employee, because we can't work here. It's hard to work here because all of this and everything that's been going on here with Lindsay and everything else is causing it. caused a hostile work environment, is what it has, and it's ridiculous. So, I mean, honestly, y'all talk about y'all don't want to go in executive session. I really think that y'all should go in executive session and squash all this shit amongst each other, because we're looking like a bunch of jackasses to other people.
That is not a legal option to us. It is simply not.
I had somebody come in my barber shop the other day saying they were approached to fill in for the spot on city council long enough so they could vote out the president.
Exactly.
That's all they needed him for, long enough, or I'm sorry, the mayor. That's all they needed, and it was you, Marie. And you approached this person.
Don't let that talk lie about me.
Yes, you did, Marie. Yes, you did, Marie. You went all over town for that. Yes, I'm not lying, because I overrode the conversation.
I did have several more days.
You had Chandra, you had Kyle, you had all of them.
Point of order, please.
It's not.
Because it was one word wrong.
You're lying.
Council members are supposed to keep their mouths shut when it comes to.
All right, guys, let's calm down.
I was calm. It was sad because this person was approached saying, we just need you to fill in long enough to vote the mayor out.
I did not.
Okay, whatever.
If you're gonna say something truthful, don't sit there and
Oh,
lie.
I am 100% God is my.
Did you hear me say that?
No, the person.
No, did you hear me say that?
Calm down, Marie.
Okay.
Dude.
But you're saying lying.
But I do have people coming to my barber shop showing me records for the judges' pay and whispering, mayor, is in on, all this stuff. I am nobody. I'm on the corner.
Why do you
cut
get on
hair.
Facebook and act like you're so concerned about
I
it?
am concerned about this place, but why do you want to come to me? I don't.
But can I say something to the council and the citizens here? I'm just gonna tell you, in my tenure since I've been here since September, all I've seen is negative from both sides. From both sides, and I'll say that as an employee, I've seen negative from both sides. And the only way that this city is gonna ever make it through this is if everybody starts coming together and acting like grown-ass adults.
That's right.
Like this lying, this stabbing the person in the back, all this, like, I'm tired of this shit. And quite frankly, to be honest with you, I'm trying to stay here as long as I can, but I actually feel embarrassed sometimes to be here with all this going on. So.
Yes, Jerry.
Going back to what, and I'm not pointing fingers or blaming nobody. Like you're saying, you got people coming in. Okay, the biggest problem is if you hear something, go to the source. You got second, third, fourth hand information. You're reading stuff off of Facebook, and it's not factual. It's not factual. So stop taking that stuff so factual. I had a conversation with Ron Helms on the phone, and I explained to him how I operate. If somebody comes to our cafe and says, Dan said this about you and said this, I'm not gonna go around asking, did you hear what Dan said? Did you hear what Dan said? I'm gonna go directly to Dan and say, hey man, can we have a talk? I heard you said this, I heard you said that. Did you say this? No? Okay, it's a rumor.
Tell the truth.
But until we stop listening to third, fourth hand information and not going to the source to get the facts and reading all this stuff off of Facebook, this is never gonna go away. This is never gonna get resolved. And I invite anybody that says, Jerry Bannister said this, or they're told Jerry Bannister said this, Gee, please, 90% of the time I'm at the cafe. Come to the cafe and ask me my face. We'll go outside, we'll drink a cup of coffee, we'll have a Coke, we'll have something, and we'll talk it out. But stop listening to the second, third, fourth hand information and just go straight to the source. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to comment something.
Okay.
I'm not mad at you. But when you did have that interview with him, you were up here making copies that day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sam sent Kobe home. That was Good Friday. We've never been open for Good Friday, but this year we had to work.
Uh-huh.
She sent her home, and the door was supposed to be locked. Sergeant McCumsey came down the hallway and said, there's a lady out here that wants to pay her ticket. And I gave you a scrunchy face, and I said, we're closed. And I said, well, I don't know how far they drove. I said, okay. So I go to the window. She wanted defensive driving. Ooh, absolutely. Right in my wheelhouse. So I did that. And then the door was left unlocked. I didn't realize that. And there was a man that came in that had a wreck. And I was cutting him off. I can't talk to you about that. I gave him his options. Then his wife comes over and thinks she can talk to him, and I can't talk to you either. And I said, this is probably, I can't tell you how to plead, but you can talk to the prosecutor. If you plead not guilty, you can tell him everything that you can't tell me. And then there was a young guy that came in and turned his certificate in. That was it. But the way that you told him, it made it sound like I was standing there taking pleas all day. And I don't comment on Facebook on all that nonsense.
If that's the way that you took it, I apologize for that.
Okay.
Our discussion was, he asked if I had any opinions, comments, whatnot, when it came to tonight's agenda.
Okay.
I told him I hadn't even looked at it.
Okay.
And then he asked again, what I thought about your position. And I said, has absolutely nothing to do with you as an individual. It's the position. And my experience in law enforcement, you have a court clerk, you have a judge, two totally different positions. The court clerk, you said earlier, you talk about the warrants, you talk about people coming and talking to the court clerk about, I want to do a guilty plea or whatnot. The court clerk handles all that. And then the judge comes in on Friday, looks at reads all the paperwork, signs off on all the paperwork.
In Tool, and that's the difference between me and all these other little cities and those judges. They have full-time court clerks. You ask this gentleman right here, he was my warrant officer in Coffee City for years, worked together for years. There were many years that I had to be my own court clerk over there and the judge. And I got that information straight from Texas Municipal Court Education Center. We are required every year to go and get our education through them, every year, without fail. That's in the statute. They said, we understand. I never would have done it. We understand some of you judges work in smaller cities, and you have to do both jobs. You just have to remember what hat you wear. And I have always taken pride in myself for that.
So let me get this straight. Somebody was gone, so you collected some money that somebody was trying to pay a fine. Is that correct?
I'm sorry? I can't hear you.
Whoever was gone, you're there and you collected some money for a fine. So is that a problem?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you said. I heard on his podcast or his.
There's two positions. There's the judge. She can be the judge here.
And the court clerk.
She can do that.
Kobe's not a
as
court
long as
clerk.
there's another presiding judge.
That's not what TMCEC says.
We're in the same.
That's not what
I just wanted to clear it up.
But you know what though? You know what though? I think this needs to happen. I think everybody needs to talk in the open and squash it out, because when we leave here, I can almost promise you, there's gonna be people in this room that's gonna go home and talk shit about somebody again. Like that's what I've been observing since I've been in this town. I think y'all need to squash it. If people got issues with each other, you got issues with the council, you got issues. I mean, I think this is what we should do. I mean, open the council. I mean, it's already been opened up, so.
You received an email yesterday along with the mayor and Cynthia. I've yet to hear a response from you on that.
On the open records?
Yes.
I don't think you want to open that up, because I will throw it out to the public as well, so. And you're opening it up, so.
I mean, we're not gonna do it right now because it's not.
Yeah, that has to do with this, and I'm not opening that up because I know what you're trying to do, and you're trying to seek legal, and I'm not following through.
Oh, no, that's done.
No,
That's.
yeah.
We're not doing that.
And it's not appropriate for this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not an idiot, so.
I have a question. So we have disagreements. You said here we've got two sides. So we've got the council, and you tell me by name who is doing this against our council. Who are the sides? We got council versus whom? Who? Give me names. Who is doing this in our city?
That's an open statement. I just said earlier that, so from what I observed is since I've been here, we had issues with our city administrator previously. Like I said before, I said it before you came in.
Yeah.
We had issues with the city administrator.
He must have come in late. He said this like 3 times already.
That's perfectly okay, because we're going over things 27 times. Be going over something that's
All I'm saying
is perfectly all right.
and I'm not trying to knock Dennis. He's a good person. I mean, I believe he honestly is a good person. Do I respect? And I mean, there's some stuff that the council does that I disagree with too, but I work for the council, so I can't tell them that they're doing. All I'm saying is this: I'm trying to watch kind of what I say because these guys are my boss. Okay, I'm just saying I have observed a lot of negativity go on, and I have observed the mayor acknowledging that negativity and encouraging it is what I'm going to get at. So
we have a mayor that's fighting against the city council.
From my point of view, yes. And I've been working here.
So in here, I hear a lot of negativity from the citizens, from the city council, from the police department. I'm hearing that all around. And I mean, the question I think is really more, how can we work together instead of like everybody's getting a team?
I've already said it. I mean, there's a major solution to this. I've been doing law enforcement for a while, and so has he. The problem is we have a mayor that doesn't talk to the council, and we have a council, I guess that are not talking to the mayor. But that is not a walking quorum. When you guys talk to each other individually,
We've been threatened.
but let me just say, a walking. You know what? This guy right here knows the law. I mean, he's been reading on it. What is walking quorum, Ron? So.
Okay, so not an attorney, not legal advice, but my understanding as a concerned taxpayer is it's very risky to even communicate beyond the chambers off the record. Someone could make a comment on social media, and then another council member can make a comment, and then you call somebody about that comment, and that's a walking quorum. And even though you're not discussing city business, it's in my opinion, a little dangerous to even be seen in public as a level of a quorum, unless you there's things that you can do, like you put out a notice of a possible quorum. I would say look into why cities do that, and I would obviously again, not legal advice, but obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. But I think we need to come back to the agenda, make a motion to just table stuff, and obviously put an open discussion on the agenda so that y'all can work this out. Great conversations are happening when we pick up the phone and directly talk. I think that needs to happen. And let's wrap this meeting up because there's a lot of drama going on, and we just need to take a breather and conduct business correctly. Thank you.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but for you guys to discuss your issues, could y'all not do an executive session and talk about these issues amongst each other if you don't want all your dirty laundry aired out in front of the citizens?
It's my understanding we can.
You can.
Yes. We cannot.
You cannot have an executive
We
session.
cannot. There are very limited things that we can go into executive session for. So I'm certainly willing to get legal counsel's opinion on that. And what the TML guidelines are for that is you've got to know when you go into executive session that you have the authority to do that. And we saw just a few meetings ago when we were going to go into executive session to discuss job descriptions. And Marie actually called Paige and talked to her from here in the meeting room. And she said no because of the way the agenda was written.
Okay.
So in order to do that, we need the authority to do that. And I'm fine asking that question, or the council can ask that question.
My issue, sir, is just, I love working here. I love the people. All right. I used to live here. I've talked to everybody about this before. I love working here. And to my knowledge, I mean, if anybody's got anything negative to say, they can say it. I mean, and I'm open ears, but I haven't done anything wrong since we've been here. We've actually improved this police department. But my thing is, in order to work here, and our morale not to be so drugged down, the judges' morale not to be drugged down, Colby, whatever, when we're working for you guys and y'all are not getting along, it does cause division, because if there's certain employees here that I'm gonna take the mayor's side, and then there's certain employees here that I'm gonna take the council's side, and then it's been told to us in meetings, don't talk to the council, that we're supposed to be handling amongst each other, that the council is not involved, when our ordinance clearly states that the council runs the city and we work for the council. Those are the issues I have, because you cause division amongst your employees, and that has caused division here. I'm pretty sure she can agree with that. So.
Who else is working with the mayor? You said the mayor. Who else? Who's the mayor working with? Who's the mayor working with, inside or outside, that you're aware of?
Oh, why don't you just say what's on your mind?
I don't have to say what's on my mind. I'm asking a question, sir.
Well, I had already brought it up, that there's been some stuff that has happened with the city administrator, that the mayor backed her up.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, we're talking about powers and duties of the mayor. This is incredibly off topic at this point.
It doesn't matter, we already opened it up.
No, we have, but it's
Ron,
just.
But
allow
us some leeway here, because this is an important conversation.
It is, but
and
you have to protect the conversation, Mr. Mayor. You need to put this on the agenda for an open discussion. We can't just talk about this when this is not the agenda.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
But Mr. Mayor, you need to control the room.
He's weak, he can't do that.
Well, okay, so you're speaking out of order, sir. Actually, you should be arrested with a crime right now for disrupting a meeting.
Okay.
So how about you just stop being out of order?
All right, so let's stop, please. Yes, I've allowed this to go on, and yes, I will be chastised for that. But this is a conversation that needs to happen.
That's your decision.
Sometimes these fights need to happen. It's not pretty, and I get it. And if I made mistakes, I'm sure I have.
Well, the thing is, though, is, and I'm saying it open to everybody, I'm not trying to knock you. I'm just telling you, you're not here on a day-to-day basis. So the things that you hear, and I'll just say it is from her, and it's from Lindsay that was here. You haven't talked to any of us about it, and if we do tell you about it, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. You go on a podcast and start talking all negative. Have you talked to each one of the other employees here about this? Or have you just talked to the judge?
I have not talked to the mayor.
Well, this involves the issue that you brought up earlier. So the thing is unethical stuff's been happening. She's been caught in lies. The city administrator's been caught in lies. And you just sit there and take up for them and defend them. So, I mean, we're doing it out in the open, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm just saying, I mean, I work for a place that I'm having to deal with this, so.
I think city council's been caught in some lies too.
And that might be so. I haven't observed that myself, but if the citizens have, then that's an issue too.
So if we're going to work through this, if we're going to get anywhere, we're going to have to put that behind us. We're all guilty of something.
And I agree. That's what I'm saying.
I have not, listen, and Jeremy, I would like the opportunity at some point, just me and you, for me to explain to you what happened in that podcast and what you heard. Because I've made the comment several times to a lot of people that I think you're doing a very good job with what you've had to deal with. So I would like to explain to you what went down there, but it was a situation with the conversation. But regardless, that one's important. I didn't mean that as a shot at you. I think you're doing a very good job.
And you've done that with us too, and I appreciate it. I have heard you say that the police department's doing a great job. You don't have issues with the police department. And I don't have solely issues with just you. I have issues with the entire council not being able to get along. As a whole, all of y'all, as a whole, okay? I don't have a problem with any of y'all individually. I love every freaking one of you guys. I'm tired of hearing all the negativity, and I want it to stop. So if we have to discuss it like we're doing and squash it, let's squash it. But I'm tired of it because it's hard to work at a place when all I should be worried about is police department issues. And we get drug into all of it too. It's hard for any of us, any employee here, not to get drug into it because we all work for you guys.
But you know what's sad is
Okay, so they get rid of him. Who's next? Who's the next chief to go, or police officer to go, or council member to go? They're stacking the deck. That's what's happening.
Well, I'm not going anywhere unless they fire me.
And thank God. But I mean, we're running out of people here. We're running out of people.
Yeah, but he ran unopposed, I mean, who?
There was your chance. If you don't like it, run against him. You know? I mean, but I'm just, it's, so you get rid of him. Okay, well, now we're gonna get somebody else in. Okay, we're gonna get rid of him. I didn't like what he said today. It's so ridiculous. This is like high school.
How many mayors have we had in the last year?
Oh, I've been on here for 5 years. I've been trying to be active until I get sick of it. And 5, 6, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's certain people running people out of here. And it's sad. It's pathetic. We're grown adults. Deal with it. If everybody agreed all the time, we'd get nothing done. That's the way I feel. If we agreed all the time.
Checks and balances, right?
Yeah. I'm sick of it.
I think we all need to get together and pray. I
Amen.
think we have to pray around it. That's right.
Amen.
Yes, but we forget. And go start attacking everybody and going around secretly and talking to people and doing all this stuff. That doesn't do anything but show how underhanded you are. And that's not what this should be
Talking about
about.
the city on Facebook don't do no good either.
What is it?
Talking about the city on Facebook.
I would talk about the city.
Oh, I have, and I'll
behind the
say again,
city.
I've talked to the city, I've talked about y'all, y'all are bantering amongst y'allself, this city needs to fix its water problem. That's really what y'all need to be focused on, but you're arguing amongst yourselves.
Mayor, how many times, mayor and council, because I've said this to everybody, especially Leah, I see Leah a lot every day. How many times have I said, in order for us to fix the city, we need to fix our house before we fix the city? Because every one of them out here see us, we're on live right now. Every one of them out there see that we can't even police ourselves. How are we gonna police the city?
So what's step one?
So,
I agree with you. I'm 100% in agreement with you. What's step one?
Talk.
Yeah, be adults.
Talk.
We're talking
Do your
now.
job. If you don't want to do your job, then everybody needs to revote somebody to some new faces.
Talk, because there are
Can you vote in the city?
new faces.
Me too.
Can you vote in the city?
Who, me? No, you can. What's your point? My son bought a home here in January and hasn't been able to use his water properly since January, maybe about 4 weeks. So don't give me that. I've lived here most of my life.
Hey.
So it doesn't matter if I can't vote or not.
can we control the yelling? We can talk like adults without yelling at each other.
Well, apparently not.
I can't believe it.
You're the only one on.
Yeah. You don't want people to say what is the truth, and that's the problem.
I know the water needs fixing. It's been needing fixed for, I know of 30 years.
And that is the main issue, it's been 30 years.
30 years.
That's because y'all do this on the council instead of addressing it.
Exactly.
Actually, they hired me last month to start fixing this.
Jeremy,
And that's what
You're
we're
doing a
working
great
on.
job.
And
Yeah,
no, yes, and that's what I want to tell y'all, they have, that we've been working together, we just got the plant done, and they hired me last month.
Hey,
to take
Jeremy?
the dirty water out. We're doing it.
People don't want to hear that, Jeremy.
Could I
We do want to hear that, but it's really, it's not.
I get just about heard it when it was him.
Yep.
Nobody else. Y'all didn't give us any information on that. He gave me information on that, not y'all, and that's the
I
problem.
understand, but
I got you, I've been waiting on this.
I want to give him the opportunity to talk about it.
Along with, all the animosity going on with the water and all the stuff that comes into the office, I'm not real sure where our city administrator is, but she is bombarded with open records requests and all kinds of stuff, and then it gets sent to me, and I'm just gonna tell you, ain't nothing been done in 20 years. 100%, nothing's been done. We fought tooth and nail with the last mayor and Terry to get me on here, and of course, council finally got me on, we hired. We've been here, I think, 10 months. When I walked through that plant, I did a podcast, or not a podcast, I did a walkthrough with Paul Kern and Dan Patch through the whole water plant, show everybody what was going on, exactly how bad that place was. It was terrible. We spent money, we are finally now making good water. I know y'all hear that and you're like, well, it's not helping in the city. That was the first step. We spent over $40,000 getting that water plant right.
Now that we've got the water plant right, they hired me last month to start in the distribution system. And of course, we're not making it to the next council meeting, so I'm just gonna let you know, we've already replaced fire hydrants, we're replacing flush valves, we're figuring out what's going on in these trouble spots. Actually, your son's spot is gonna be the next one. We're on Alice Street right now with a customer that's been having the same problems before him. I just went out to call locate so we can put flush valves in. He's gonna be one of the next houses we look at because we're finding spots where these lines aren't flushed. They're not adequately flushed. So we do get good water from the water plant. We finally got it. And now, like I said, I've had 1 month, but we've already had excavators out here almost every day digging up and changing valves and getting where we can start flushing this. The water's fixing to start getting better, but if y'all just give me some time. And if y'all report it, just give it to the office. I'll come out there and do the best I can. But I've only had 1 month and we're starting to figure all this stuff out. But if y'all have any questions, I'm more than welcome, happy to answer.
That's all I was asking for, was some kind of clarity on it, so.
Thank you, Jeremy.
No, this is for the council. Chris Quinn was here earlier this evening and he was talking about, and I don't know if it was this council or previous council, but he had, because he does it for a living, he writes grants for a living. That's what he does. And he's offered his services to the city of Trinidad in the past, and it just went nowhere because he has the ability, according to what he was saying, to get grants to start getting these water lines replaced. Because that's what's going to have to happen is dig them up and replace these water lines with, modern technology, not this cast iron that we have. But if we have a citizen in our toolbox, let's use that tool. He's willing to write the grant.
I agree.
Why don't we take advantage of that?
I was not on the council when he offered that, and I thought that was a big mistake that they didn't hire him to do that. He is getting so much stuff done in neighborhood, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I said, because they don't want him.
Yeah, I think the issue and I don't know, I wasn't involved with the council at that time either. I was here for the meeting. I think the overall issue is he wanted to be put on
He's right here.
contract. There he is. And I think that was what held him up. If it had been a percentage thing, I think they.
Whatever it takes.
Well, the problem is we're hashing out stuff like this instead of hashing out stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the ridiculousness of all of this. It's ridiculous.
It is, and we've got to all start working together.
Yes.
Amen.
And quit recruiting people to vote people out, or to put them on things, and it's ridiculous.
We appreciate that. And we do.
Well, let's fix it. I will commit to doing that if y'all. I don't want the division. Our citizens.
Well, no, we think
It doesn't do any of us any good.
Did we lose the city administrator and a council member?
I think Melvin probably had enough just a little bit ago. What he does, I don't know.
I admire him for having enough, for just saying, I'm done.
Well, and I get that, it's a difficult situation, and frankly, it wears on everybody. It's no fun for any of us. But, I made a commitment not to quit. And as long as there's a citizen in this town that wants me to be mayor, I won't quit. Now, in 20 months, y'all can fire my ass, and that's okay.
Can I ask y'all as an employee, for y'all to make us employees a promise that you guys will start trying to work together and solve these issues? Because it really does make it hard for those of us that have love for this, let's just put it this way, the citizens, we love the citizens here. Every one of my police officers, we love our citizens. I love how our citizens, I can have one person say a negative thing on Facebook and our entire city defends it. I don't have to say nothing. That makes me feel good, all right? But it is hard to work in a city that's house is crumbling. And I really, really would love to see this board right here succeed, because when y'all are succeeding, the city's succeeding. I mean, he works for Maybank right now and they're succeeding. I live there. They're booming right now. So I just, all I want to see is us as a city grow my police department grow. Maybe one day we have 6 officers out here. You know, the city's growing. I want to see that, but it can't happen if you guys are not coming together. Yes. So I just would just love for you guys to all make that promise to us employees.
I'll make that promise.
Yeah.
I will too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And as far as the issues that we've had, that's fine. I'm just saying, as far as the issues that we had, I'm willing to look over that. If we can just move past it and we can move on.
Start fresh and communicate.
Judge, the issues that we've had with you, I'm willing to move on with that.
Yeah, I'd like to know what
Okay, but I'm just saying though, the issue, I mean, Lindsay's not here no more. I'd say it to her, you know, she's not here no more, but I don't like backstabbing. I don't like lies. I just want everybody to get along. Let's work together. Obviously, there's going to be a bad apple every now and then anywhere you go, but it's a bad signal when there's a lot of bad apples. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all I want to see is us all just succeed. That's all I want. I'd like to wear this and say in 3 years, I was the police chief of a city that grew and expanded, and you know, we did something. So,
well, I'll make that, Chris. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak. You've hung around, so and then we need to get this thing wrapped up because we don't want to keep dragging it on. Chris, what you got?
History became myth, myth became legend, and there are a few here left who remember July. Doc, I'm sorry for what we've become. Leah, Maria. But it doesn't mean we have to stay here. So I'll say this town was utopic. Those of you who don't know, it was. It can be again. Velma knows what I can do and what I've done here. My own counsel I keep on what can be done. Inside of about 1 year, we can fix every problem financially, number one, which really causes the consternation. Where's Crocker at? Got so old, I don't even recognize him. I coached him, but I don't recognize him. So, what he said was right. And I see a repetition of facts. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when I got elected, I didn't give, everybody chooses their own path, but I sacrificed my 20s to this city as an elected official. I didn't wait until I got old and didn't have anything else to do. This is what I did. What we see with Crocker is the same thing as the reoccurring issue. Good water at the plant, bad water at the houses, infrastructure. It's just that simple. That's not going to change until we win the grants. I won 22 grants. I've never lost a grant, just for Trinidad. I'm at 36 now. I do it for a living, enjoy doing it. We built houses. We did a lot of things. I earned the city, and I want everybody to know, $15 million net and counting. It had never been done before in the state of Texas. It hasn't been done since. And that was the raw water sale that I put together. And having help was my idea. I brought it to the council. All they had to do was say, yes, we'll take $15 million. That money was earmarked. And then when I went through a divorce in 2007 and left, I walked the deal through. It began in 2008, and here we are. There's a massive amount of cash, so it equals about $330,000 that comes into the system fund every year. It's the raw water sale of the Tarrant Regional Water District. I put it together. I didn't ask for anything. I should have commissioned myself on that. I should have. $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, against $300,000 a year. I did it. I should have. I'm older now, I'm wiser. But what I'm saying is, there are ways to make money. There are ways to solve. I just won $675,000 for a police department yesterday in San Antonio. There are ways to solve our problems, and I know that once the money gets right, and we can fix the problems in the water department, and people get fussed about the water, I know that'll solve everything. The issue here, the challenge in Trinidad, is not who's talking to who, or how they're doing it, or if we're painting the sides of the brush down home plate. It's not whether, because I don't think anybody's broken the law. I'm no lawyer. I've never seen anyone act in this body, and the government's been here longer than me, she's the only one that outdates me, act intentionally against the best interest of the city. I've never seen one. We've had some crazy ones, and we've had some good ones, But I think we have to start in a position of, I haven't seen, and I don't think I'm seeing it now, anyone act in a negative interest towards the city. And if you can identify a person and see them on their best day, this talking it out, I mean, y'all can do that, that's great. But it must move over into a situation where the city is well funded, there's plenty of money, grants are moving, infrastructure gets fixed. There's things happen when money happens. Old man said, show me a man that's got a problem that money can solve, and I'll show you a man who ain't got no problems. My old Andre Day says, yeah, well, what if you ain't got no money? How do you solve that problem? You don't. Money, that's every issue here. So in the water plant, first off, I've done every position here. Head of the police department, remember? City administrator, court clerk, interim judge, public works director, council, and mayor. I've done every position in this city. And of course, about 26 years. He's running a balance. Think of the water department like this. Plates spinning. And 9 of them are hidden, and you've got 18. He's got to tweak it. He's got to work with it. It is such a delicate process that every time we switch water plant operators, this happens. Every time. And we've gone all the way back. Gene Burnley, call all their names. Every one of them has the same challenges you're going through. And I have every confidence that you'll fix it. So when we have that water, yeah, you got to report it. But those water issues are going to be fixed. He's going to look like a hero and win that grant for infrastructure to the FDA to replace those, systematically replace water mains. And I'm going to give you just a little bit down the road. When you replace the main, it is not the city's responsibility for the main to the house. We have lateral lines in the system that are made out of orange birch. Y'all know what that is? Yeah, it's pressed, it's old shingles. When your sewer line is flat, you don't get any flow, but that's not the city's problem. That's on. And then they say, come jet it. Jetter comes out there, you put the high power jet through there, blows the orange birch to pieces, now you destroy the lateral line. So oftentimes the city can't help you with the problem between the main and the house. This is a reoccurring issue. And so when citizens say, well, there's something wrong, it may be on you.
Yes.
If you're in a house that's been here since 1955, it's probably got cast iron lines, it probably has a lot of problems. But even then, there are situations where we can achieve grants. And here's one of the things that help us. Greatest weakness, greatest strength, right? We have a hard, high poverty line in Trinidad. The FDA loves that. We have a high bonded debt. I don't know what our bonded debt is right now, but it was high when I was pitching, and if there's any, it's high. Bonded debt, poverty line, these are the things the FDA and from everybody looks at in order to throw money at your city. We check all the boxes. Minority rates, we have them. We have to utilize these resources. Our greatest weakness, we're poor, is our greatest strength when we ask for money. Whether it's the fiscal budget, the presentation we make from our budget, if what I'm understanding is true, the budget's been imbalanced and wrong for the last 6 or 7 or 8 years that we've never brought to council's attention. Give me those budgets. I will write a grant that solves it.
Can we squash something real quick? Because I have a question about the grants. Rumor is that there were grants given many moons ago, and then the city just proportioned that money or whatever. Is that true? And if that is the case, will new grants be granted?
I don't know if that's the case. I left in 2008. I came back in 2014, was going to recover. There was an awful lie started about me in a petition signed by the people that I love that said I needed to be terminated, fired as mayor. I wouldn't have served this city if I didn't have one person's confidence. And I served for a long time. So I resigned. If you'd like to see a copy of this, people in this room's name on that petition. It was a lie. Because one person came in and stirred a bunch of stuff up and then left. He's not here now.
And that's the issue I have. One person was here, stirred up a bunch of shit, caused problems between them, caused problems between employees, caused problems between the citizens, and is still posting stuff on Facebook and is saying that we are not ever going to be eligible for grants because we're not compliant. We don't have audits. We don't have this.
To answer your question, I don't know what's happened between 2008 and 2014. And then I wasn't here long until that petition was signed against me that said I was stealing money and acting in the city's interest. So I left pretty quickly. So 14 to now, 08 to 14, I don't know.
So who can answer that question? I mean, that's something that's a rumor that's been gone amongst the city for many, many years.
A grant writer can answer that question, take a little research. But even in the worst circumstances, and I'm working with other cities now, even in the worst circumstances where something like that has happened, if none of those people are involved anymore, and they're not, then it gives you plausible deniability to move forward. And at a poverty rate that we're at, it makes a good case. Everything can be won with a good argument. There's nothing standing in our way. I would say that there's nothing standing in our way of winning grants. I do it every day. And my challenge in Maybank is there is no poverty. The average home value is $380,000. And there's no minorities. I don't have any boxes to check. I have to work extra hard to get it done. But in the end, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Grants solve your money problems, money solves your anger problems, and the anger problems solve the consternation inside this city, the city that I love. But I want to encourage you to say this. Every one of us here, I'm hardworking folks, nobody here looks like they've been riding a government check for their whole life, so I'll say this. Chief, we have worked with people we don't like all our lives. It's no different here. You know, and to say it's on a national level, I said, I think it's bled down from the hate against Biden and the hate against Trump, and now we're just looking for somebody to hate. And no offense to anybody who makes their living that way. Lord knows I made my living advertising 25 years. All it does is create more likes and clicks on Facebook page and funds them. That's what they're looking for. Dirt, anger, strife, consternation. And while I'm so happy that we're here and it was streamed, because I wouldn't have been here if it hadn't been streamed, I want to warn you of going down that path of there is no redemptive value in any human being. That's our mayor. I voted for him, I'm going to back him until election time, and then I'll express my dissent or approval. And the same for all the council and for our administrator. Like or love it, I believed in Lindsay. Thought she was the thing. If she isn't, that's for them to decide. I didn't vote for Lindsay, I voted for these people. And if they decide she isn't the guy, I gotta go with that, because this is who I vote for. I'm not attached to Lindsay. I'm not attached to this council. I'm attached to Trinidad. And let me be real clear. There have been some amazing people who I'll be bringing to this council to put on this placard hung back for the wall. In case you guys didn't know, this is the Larry Don Estes Servant's Heart Award. This is for honoring people who've gone above and beyond for the service of the city of Trinidad. You might not know why some of those names are on there. I'd be glad to explain it to you. But you know, since I invented this 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the only person that's ever brought a name up is me. We never go wrong in honoring others. B.W. Tatum coming. He's on the next one. You'll love to hear the story about B.W. Tatum. And I'll say this, the B.W. Tatums, the Dick Sharps, the Margaret Frenches, the Opal Lewises. Come on with me. Mr. Jenkins, and I'm not talking about Ernest, I'm talking about Daddy. Billy Ray Hornbuckle, Velma Womack. When I start naming these people, those of us who are here know how wonderful they are, and I want to encourage everybody here to remember this. We are who we were. Nothing has changed. There's an old saying that says you live long enough, you see the same eyes in different faces. They're here. Dick Malier is here. Dick Sharp is here. Margaret French, Dora Peebles, they're all here. But we must find them within each other. We must solicit that growth and that kindness. The only thing I can say is those words aren't written big enough on that whiteboard.
I wrote that Bible.
Thank you. Put it in bold, color it.
I wrote that 5 weeks ago.
Because at the end of the day, these are mothers, father. You know, my dad always told me about women. He said, always remember that every woman is someone's sister, daughter, mother, grandmother. Treat them that way. Well, every man, someone's son, brother, father, grandfather, and I treat them that way. And I know tempers get high, I do. But temperaments And control, self-control, and emotional control is the greatest sign of maturity. And maturity is the most valuable asset in conducting the business of the city, or one's own personal countenance, or anything you're attempting to do. I'm at your service, but I did 25 years for free. I did $15 million in net profits to the city. That's not counting the grants for free. I'd love to come work for you. If you can carve out a little budget for my time, guarantee it'll be worth it. But I'm not running for elected official. I serve here, right? I mean, I'm just saying. I did this.
I get it.
Yeah, I did these. Our job, you know, I'm sad to see people leave because we must remember that their job, when you take on that oath, you're there to take a beating sometimes. We've had council meetings go 10, 12, midnight, 30, because people need their voices heard. And you're there to take a beating. Nobody's going to make the right decision every time. But God bless us all.
And they do it for free, might I add.
God bless us all that we find the kindness and the understanding to see each other on our best day and not our worst. Because when we do that, we will see Margaret French again, and the kindness that she brought to this community, and the angel on earth that she was. Her name's right here. And she was one of those people that, if you ever want anybody to love or believe or come to Trinidad, you want them to meet Margaret French first. She loved everybody. She was an angel. Angel. And I'll say that, and it's the same thing. As a young man, your grandpa was my best friend. Loved him. My soul, Jerry Crocker could bring wisdom. He served on this council too. These people are who we are, and I'm encouraging you to look at each other in their eyes and see the folks that you may not know. But all you gotta do is ask. The most magical, the most impressive, the most capable, the most extraordinary people live right here. And I'll end with this. In the book of Samuel, Saul summons up Samuel with the witch of Endor, right? And he counsels Samuel, and Samuel tells him, you've lost the kingship. And I wonder if we were to go down to the cemetery and summon our forefathers and foremothers up and stand in judgment of them, what would we say? We gave you a town that had the highest paid school teachers in the state. That's true. There was a line to get into the school. What'd you do with it? Could we respond with, man, we took what you gave us and grew it. But I want to encourage you with this. Good level knows, she's heard this ad nauseum. The challenges that Trinidad faces today were not made yesterday. They were made 40 and 50 years ago. Therefore, we cannot fix them tomorrow. But if we plan beyond our own lifespan, we can fix them in 40 to 50 years. But with grants, I can balance this budget and have this city pop within a year. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm just gonna back that. I live there. I live in the city of Maybank, and it is popping.
I know you do, Chief, and I don't disagree with that at all.
And I just want to add one more thing. I love every single one of y'all. None of this was to poke the bear. It was, I wanted all of y'all to get this out. So it needs.
Hey, I'm fine with it, honestly, and we need to hear our citizens.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're not doing what we need to do for them. They've made that clear. They've been making it clear. I think everybody made the promise to come together and work together, try to get past this. We need to figure out a way to heal it, and that's not always going to be easy. But it starts with that promise and with a request for forgiveness if I've messed up, if I've misspoke. I try never to lie. So I think a lot of times we're too quick to jump on what are simply misstatements or mistakes that happen. But I will take my beating, as Chris said. That's what we're up here for. That's what I wanted. That's what I've been wanting for 3 or 4 meetings. I have been told by more than just Paige that it has to be done in the open like this. That's the reason I've insisted on this, is that's what I've been told, and that's where we go. So It's not pleasant for us, it's not pleasant for the citizens, and it doesn't look good. We got it out, we know where we stand. So now we need to move on with this evening and get this wrapped up. So, as it relates to item number 3, discuss, consider, and take action on ordinance 04-2026-001 related to the duties of the mayor. Any further discussion? All right, I will entertain a motion. Hearing no motion, item dies on the table. I'm sorry.
I think we need to go ahead and table it.
Okay, if you want to make that motion.
Yeah.
Have a motion by Marie to table that item. Have a second by Velma. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. So the motion carries, it is tabled. I don't know that we really need any council member inquiry time tonight.
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we have been being bombarded by records requests. And based on that, I would like for future to consider a part-time person to work records requests and charges to be made for those records to pay for that part-time person.
Okay, and there are certainly mechanisms for those charges. So there's nothing, and again, that's an item for a different day.
Correct.
I would, and I would strongly suggest, unless we have something that is terribly important, let's get to our next regularly scheduled meeting and not do another special meeting unless there is something that warrants that.
We just have another to the 21st.
Yeah, it's not that far away. Surely we can get there.
Can I say something? I don't know if it fits in, but because the city council approved a senior exercise program at the community center and then said we could do it for free, it has changed my life. That's why I'm on the council today. Number one, I wasn't ready when we started it, so we only did 6 repetitions per exercise. But we built up. We're now up to 12 repetitions per exercise. Now, there's a reason I'm telling you this. We have approximately 5 to 9 people per exercise class. We've changed it from seniors only to anybody. We have some young women coming. As of last week, 2 of our women have had medical annual checkups with weight loss, triglycerides, blood pressure, and cholesterol reduced. We have, as a group, on the community center, when they decided to have the event committee, we as a group went in and cleaned that up with the help of the mayor and Dan Pass and volunteers from the committee, the event committee, and some volunteers from the city. Our group is also landscaping the community center. And I just want to give credit to the council for approving that program for our citizens. And I would like to invite anybody who would like to come to please come and join us. They are rehab chair exercises for anybody that's had a heart attack, cancer, hip replacement, shoulder replacement, knee replacement. Jess is lonely. I'm telling you, it's an amazing program. And it's because the city council approved it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now I will entertain that motion everybody likes.
My vote we adjourn.
Pass that.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.